Hi, this is Tom Needham, and you're listening to The Sounds of Film, and I am very excited to have on the phone with us right now Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's an American civil rights activist. He's a two-time presidential candidate and a shadow U.S. Senator for the District of Columbia. He was the founder and is the founder of the organization Rainbow Push. He's just in New York City for the 18th Annual Wall Street Project Economic Summit, where he had a group together for where Wall Street, Main Street, and Silicon Valley converge. Reverend Jesse Jackson, thanks for joining us on The Sounds of Film.
Well, thank you. You know, it's good to be on your show. You have such a great reputation.
Well, thank you.
Let me suggest to you that we are free but not equal. That's what this conference is about, free but not equal.
I want to hear about your conference. I was wondering if you could just comment briefly. As you know, here in New York City, we have had a lot of protests as people have all around the nation. And I was wondering what your thoughts are about that.
Well, you know, there's been a long train of abuses, whether Emmett Till or Metcalf was back in the day, and the juries tried killers and killers who walked away free, or whether Diallo shot in New York, or Amadou Diallo in New York, or Amadou in New York. Some other cases, Reverend Sharpton has dealt with that, or whether the Trayvon Martin in Florida. And finally, something came together, it seems, a magic moment in Ferguson, Missouri. This pattern is unacceptable, and people are marching for the end of police violence against black people. Certainly, we're in the right in those marches.
Well, people are very upset, and I know that you were just in the city, as I said, for your Wall Street Project Economic Summit. I was wondering, how does the social unrest that we've been seeing, how does that connect to this economic summit that you're involved in?
Well, in our community, there's so much of the disparities. We don't have our share of police, our share of judges, our fairness in the judicial system. We over-index in prison, but we under-index in officials in the judicial system. But we've got to go a step further. So many of our youth are unemployed and untrained. Poverty is a weapon of mass destruction. And so now, as we fight for the right, we must register and vote so we can serve on juries and fight back, and fight by judges. With all the hand, must fight by board positions and jobs and contracts and professional services.
I was wondering also, does Hollywood have any kind of role in the changes that need to take place? I know you've been meeting with leaders in the tech fields as well as Wall Street people. What role does Hollywood play in all of this?
Well, Hollywood's played one role that's played historically has been a damaging psychological role. You see the North Koreans and then back and have people closing down theaters. When they put on us the tolerance policy and the cowboys and Indians, they put upon us some very racist policies that poison the culture. We just had the a packet coming out of Tony, for example. And people said, this is unacceptable. We must now use our economic strength to go another way. And I hope that we will not forget the 8 persons in Silicon Valley and Hollywood to deal with a set of values that has such a limiting impact upon our people.
There really is a problem in terms of inequality right now in America, and it's really in the hands of corporations to do something about it. What are you telling these different leaders that needs to be done?
We're talking the corporation will not change their mind. The oppressed must change their mind. They must never retire. When the enslaved change their mind, they must have to make adjustment. Segregators did not retire. The segregated changed their minds. The same is true with fighting for economic justice. We must leverage our dollars, and shareholders will leverage our dollars in voting. Because we have political power, we have economic power. We can't just be talking about how much money we consume and how much we spend, but how much we leverage. Because top leads to fatness, production leads to freedom.
We play a lot of film soundtrack music here on The Sounds of Film, And one of our favorite soundtracks through the years has been the Wattstax soundtrack, of which you had a small part in. I don't know how much you remember from that period, but you gave a very famous speech in Wattstax, the film. And I was wondering, what your memories are of it, and in terms of the message, I was wondering how far do you think America has come since you first gave that speech? From the film Wattstax, the concert.
Well, what I remember was that so much regret and so much anxiety and fear. Now, we had the track time. With all these artists together, the people Tippers and Jonathan Taylor and Rupert Thomas and Isaac Hayes and all of them, and had a massive concert in the state of LA, and charging only $1. The idea was not to make money, it was to make sense. And to use the power of singers, draw people to get other message of self-respect and don't burn where they live, and learn they burn, don't just burn, they burn, and to turn to each other, not on each other, and to feel some sense of joy and esteem. And I think that was accomplished on that occasion, and it was family for it.
Wow. That was really a historic day. I noticed in your economic summit, one of the panels that was held was called The Business of Hip Hop, and examining the next steps. It featured rapper Rakim and Ed Lover and others. What do you think has to be done within the music industry to help solve some of the problems that we're talking about?
Well, one of the, of course, generation's master producer, owning our own master. The second is the content of our music. It either inspire us, as Stevie Wonder does, or it can degrade us, as many artists do. That huge God-given power and assets like entertainment have must be used to emancipate us, not to degrade. And when that happens, we always feel that back. I remember Dr. King was talking about the Vietnam War, and people were booing him and throwing the doors in his faces, and Marvin Gaye said, "What's going on?" It seems like everything changed in viewing the war and citizen. Dr. Congress for years tried to get the Dr. King holiday, and it just didn't happen. Could not just harm the people at the protest. And then people wanted it to have a birthday Martin Luther King Jr. and tapped into the culture, and we had power to make it a national holiday. So music at its best has power to shift it towards the culture.
I know you don't have too much more time, but at this moment we have people protesting police brutality. We have a lack of diversity in business, and the worst economic inequality in American history. These are serious times.
One is that police are gatekeepers, and the owners have put behind the gate that they're keeping. When you look at Ferguson, for example, 8% population of African Americans, and 2 black police out of 50. You had about half black and half white, and half male and half female, you'd have a different culture. But then you have this inverse fortune, because we're voting around 6%. Nobody has the right to drop the bat and expect to hit the ball. We just have to keep fighting, or we could not surrender. And I think that when these police departments have federal money, as they do, they must lose those federal contracts. They don't come to fill their performance standards and EEOC standards. And even all this military hardware you saw in Ferguson was federal. I mean, the tanks, that was not local. The gas mask and the rifle, the federal government was enforced the law to support us, keep the protection of the law.
So you are hopeful that things can get better.
Well, my hope would be if I see the concreteness of some police departments, by the time losing their federal money, they do not include us. We do have a level, but the level must be applied. It can't be a kind of industry that way good on paper, but not primary effort.
Okay. Well, I admire the work that you're doing with your Wall Street Project Economic Summit and everything else that you've done through your career. It's really an honor to meet you, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and I wish you continued success in your mission this year.
Well, I want to keep hope alive, number one, Tom. And I want to, since I'm getting to know Twitter me at Rev J. Jackson, like me on Facebook, Rev J. Jackson Senior, and Instagram on the way.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and I wish you a happy New Year.